Hey y'all, quick note. While My Hero Academia was created for kids, this podcast is not safe for work or children. All trigger warnings and spoilers for each episode can be found at our website, myheroanalysis.com. Thanks for listening.
Hey y'all, this is My Hero Analysis, a podcast about My Hero Academia, aka Boku no Hero Academia. We are three grown adults who mine Japanese children's cartoons for serotonin because God knows our brains are not making it naturally.
Never.
Absolutely not. Hello, everyone. So names. So I'm doing the really annoying non-binary thing where I was like, my name isn't aesthetic enough. And it's not pretentious enough. Like, it is kind of pretentious, but it's like pretentious in the wrong direction. It's like rich white boy pretentious, and I'm not about that life. So gonna be trying out some new names on here. I haven't really decided on anything yet, but I was like, let me try them out on the podcast and see how they work and just like take a couple names for a test run. So this week we're going with Fern. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And I love how I gave you like a bunch of options, and I was literally just pulling nouns out of my brain, and you loved them all.
Nicole is very, very good with names. The suggestions my brain was coming up with were not good. So Nicole came up with Fern, and then have I mentioned my obsession with Adventure Time on this podcast yet?
No, we haven't even posted the meme you found like right away that you wanted me to post for one of the episodes.
Wow, that is incredible that it's taken this long for that topic to come up. But yeah, I'm obsessed with Adventure Time. There's a character named Fern in it that I have a lot of really strong feelings about, way too much emotional attachment to. So yeah, we're going to try this one first. I've got a good feeling about it.
Fern was my favorite, so.
It suits you.
It does.
Well, I'm still Nicole. My week and day were pretty boring, but this morning I did find a new puffball mushroom in my backyard. So that's my highlight for the day.
It's very cute.
It's very cute. It's like a little golf ball. It's so cute.
Mushrooms are adorable. Hey, y'all, it's Maria. Excuse my voice today. I am the extrovert of this podcast, so I'm always off doing some sort of shenanigan. And I went to my first concert since the pandemic started, and it's someone I've wanted to see for so long, and I was screaming, and here we are today.
Yeah, what was the artist's name again?
Mon Laferte.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's freaking amazing, and I love her, and she's like a literal goddess. I was so excited. I've waited years to see her concert, like years. Every time I wanted to go to one of hers, something came up. So
finally the stars aligned.
I know, I'm so happy. And I was telling the group chat everything about this, and Nicole was like, how do you find so many things to do?
Yeah, because I was in bed when Maria said she was at a concert. I was in bed looking on TikTok like I do every night because I'm a grandfather, but she is out every night, and I can't even imagine how you find these things, let alone go to them.
Yeah, Nicole and I need like a minimum of 3 days warning to prepare if we're going to step outside our front doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that at all. So I just need, like, I can go for like weeks and I can go out and do stuff. And then I just need like 2 or 3 days to recover after those weeks. And then I'm good for the next couple of weeks. Like, I really don't need that much recovery time.
Incredible.
It's baffling.
Yeah. And this past week, like, I did a lot, and I'm doing a lot later tonight too. So
Unsurprised.
Yeah, I literally took my notes in a bar on Thursday. So,
oh my God.
Yep.
So yeah, this is the type of person I am.
Magical.
I'm a magical human being.
Magical powers. That's the only explanation.
And slightly chaotic, but we're not going to talk about that.
There's plenty of time to talk about it on the hundreds of upcoming episodes. We will get to it.
Oh yeah, it's going to come up again. So this week we're covering episode 9 of the anime. I can't believe we're at episode 9 already. And the title of this one is, Yeah, Just Do Your Best, Ida. And the accompanying manga chapters, this time there's 2. It's chapters 12 and 13. Also, y'all, buckle up. This is going to be a dense episode. They squeezed like 3 episodes worth of stuff into one. So we got a lot to talk about. So we're just going to get right to it. So this time, the episode opens with the credits instead of a pre-credit scene. It's the first time this has happened for this show, so that's interesting. Also, so like, okay, so my morning, my new job that I have, I start much later than I used to. So now I do the timeline in the morning before work. And this song just, it always peps me up. And like I do the timeline on Mondays. So it's like a great way to start my week.
Why do you think I have a playlist with all the opening and closing songs ready to go whenever I need that specific pep?
I need to follow your example.
Yeah. Or just follow my playlist. It's on Spotify.
I do not have that. My music tastes are very chaotic, just like I am, but I do have a playlist called Fire Goddess Shit. And that is the song what I use to pep me up in the morning.
Hell yeah.
Fire Goddess Shit. That sounds amazing.
It's great. It's a big fuck you to the patriarchy. I love it.
Nice. I do have another pep me up song when I need it, and it's it's History Makers from Yuri on Ice.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that is top tier.
Yeah. Anytime.
That song, yeah.
For anytime you need it. Anyway.
I could literally fist fight my mental illness to that song.
And it would be beautifully choreographed.
Yes, that is top tier. I love it. I need to add that on my playlist, on my chaotic playlist, because there is a chaotic playlist called I Don't Know What I Want Ever.
Perfect.
It's almost like 42 hours long now.
Oh, God.
Jesus fuck.
Again, chaotic.
So much. Anyway, back to the episode. We are not even to point 2 in the outline.
We're still on point 1.
It's fine. Okay. So also in the credits, we have Hand Guy breaking through the crumbling scene that was first shown 2 episodes ago after the Deku Katron fight, which is quite metaphorical and symbolic of like literally all the upcoming arcs. So it's nice to like put the pieces together.
So I actually skipped the credits this
How dare
I don't do it very often, but like I accidentally hit the skip credit and I was just like, okay, well, I guess this is where we're at. Anywho. Yeah, so sometimes anime does do that where they start off with the intro right away. This usually means there's a new segment about to start within the current season. Because usually seasons are between like 1 to 3 arcs, especially like longer running animes. So animes that have like between 16 to 24 episodes. So that's a good way to figure out something new is coming.
Yeah. Very good way considering what happens in this episode.
Yes, I know.
That suddenly makes sense. Sense.
Yeah. No. As your old anime watching guru, that I've watched a lot of animes and this is how they go. So every time there's like an opening at the beginning, I'm like, okay, well, shit's about to go down. Great,
wonderful. Oh dear.
Yeah, must go grab a drink.
Yeah.
2 or 3. I don't know. A lot.
Yeah, we're in for a wild ride. So after the credits, we get Izuku walking to school and immediately getting accosted by paparazzi. The other students also swarmed, and every single one of them is quizzed about All Might.
Yeah, Izuku is just wants to get to the nurse's office. Like he looks so stressed out. The poor boy. Just let him through. Like let him through, please.
Yeah, it's got to be a really jarring way to start your morning. So, obviously we're going to talk about all their reactions. I was really interested in Ito's reaction. I was like, hon, have you had interview training? Like, it seems like you've had interview training.
Yeah, like with all the attention his family gets, it's not surprising that he would.
Yeah, I love how all the pap looks very exasperated, and I'm here for it.
Next time they'll just sick Ida on them like every single time until they get frustrated and walk away.
Yeah. Well, even before Ida, I think Ochako was second. And
Yeah.
all she does is comment on All Might's muscles.
Yeah, she definitely jokes a little bit. It was cute though.
It's cute. It's cute. She's fine. And then Katsuki tells them to walk away when the reporter mentions the sludge villain, because that was fucking out of pocket, lady.
100% agreed.
Yeah, that was rude as shit.
And then finally, we have our husband, Aizawa. He has returneth to us. And he basically tells the paparazzi to get lost because he's just not having it, and he never does, and it's great. And then the reporter like tries to like get him to keep talking by saying, also, you look like a mess. What's your deal?
Oh my God.
Like, ma'am, that is my husband. He is sleepy. Leave him alone. And like after that, he just shoos them away with a perfunctory response that cannot be interpreted in any direction. Like how sometimes they'll make a comment that doesn't mean anything, and the pops will spin it. He's a good boy. He knows what he's doing. Anyway, and he says, "You've disturbed my students enough already, sir. Your dad Zawa is already showing. I love you so much."
And he's right.
Yep, he is
100%.
He probably saw Izuku like staggering away, and he's like, "Okay, I need to go take care of this."
Poor babies.
Yes. And then the reporter goes on. She says, "He looks a bit scruffy for a pro hero. Like, that's his shtick. Why don't you stop being so rude? It's early." And then as he walks away, Aizawa is like, how does All Might ever get anything done with the media always stepping on his cape? Like, that is a supreme burn. That is impressive. Good job, sir.
Two-way burn.
I love our favorite husband. No life in his eyes and no sympathy.
Nothing is there. He is just so completely done. I love him.
Yeah. And I agree with everything Nicole said. Also, I have a feeling my notes are going to be like, I agree a lot with them because this is a very Ida-centric episode.
Yeah.
So, and you don't have a lot of feelings about Ida.
It's not that I don't have any feelings about Ida. It's that you guys have a lot more feelings about Ida than I do.
Don't worry. Your time will come. We take turns being just absolutely obsessive.
It's fine. I was just like, yeah, I'll put that out there because I was reading through the notes and I was just like, I'm not going to have much to say this episode.
You're just going through like, check, yep, check, yep.
Yeah, poor Maria. So I write the timeline and then I post my opinions, and then Nicole goes and insert hers, and then Maria's last. So if something happens in an episode that gets me and Nicole really, really worked up, sometimes we don't leave anything.
We don't leave anything for Maria to say.
It's a careful balance. It's a careful balance, especially when doing the timeline, like making sure you're leaving like things open for other people to make comments.
Yeah. Well, it's fine because I have a busy schedule, as we all know. So.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, getting back to the episode, one interviewer steps past some invisible boundary and triggers the UA barrier, which is like these giant fucking steel plates or whatever they are. And we learned that there are sensors all around the school that'll trigger if someone tries to get onto the grounds without a pass or a student ID or something along those lines. So like there's a lot of surrounding security, which is good. Much less internal security, presumably because I guess the expectation is that the teachers are all pro heroes and know how to deal with it. But we'll see this come back to bite them hard, like really soon.
Yeah. Cough. Yeah. It's not a good setup. The reporter lady also does make a good point, and that they may be hiding something with this really big security measure, which I don't think they are in the way that she's thinking, but it is open to interpretation for sure. Like I can definitely see UA having some dark corners, and hopefully we'll be able to see if that is the case pretty soon.
Yeah.
I actually have very strong feelings about the reporter lady. I fucking hate her. It's a motherfucking school. Leave them kids alone.
Agreed.
Also, I do get the reason why they have security. I mean, these are heroes or heroes in training. They're bound to make enemies. And honestly, thinking villainously, if you wanted to seriously damage the image of heroes, attack the students. Cough, cough. Not like that's gonna happen.
Amen. Amen. You hit the nail right on the head. Like the school is probably like the ultimate target. So obviously they're going to have security. Cool your jets, lady. So
yeah, again, strong feelings about that reporter.
Justified. So Izuku's narration cuts in, and we learn that All Might's teaching position is just now being made public, and now everyone knows about it, including villains. And then we get that same preview shot that we got in the last episode of like hand for face looming just behind the paparazzi. No good. Very ominous.
Yeah, like everyone wanted to get their hands on All Might. That was the actual line in the dub, and that is right as Hand Guy comes on screen. Coincidence? I think not.
So everyone was italicized in the sub.
Yep.
So shit's about to get real.
Listen, they need to stop just bonking us on the head with warnings. Let me be surprised and horrified in the moment, which I think does kind of, it is a surprise.
Happens.
And yeah, on your first watch, it is pretty much a surprise, especially if you're like me and you don't know all these tells in anime, like all the tropes.
Yeah.
It was pretty surprising on my first watch.
Yeah. Also, this show is geared towards like 8-year-olds. So
true. But like I've watched so much anime that very little surprises me. Madoka Magica though, that fucking show. That fucking show. Anywho, that's not what we're talking about. Let's get back to this episode.
Yeah. We keep getting distracted. Can you tell we're in a mood today? So cut to their homeroom. Aizawa is going over the results of yesterday's training with All Might, with the students. Katsuki and Izuku get specifically called out. I warmed up to him a little bit here. In the sub, his language is blunt, but it's also encouraging.
Yep, definitely. And it's the same in the dub. He says, Bakugo, you're talented, but don't sulk like a child because you lost. And I think that's a pretty good way to phrase it for Bakugo specifically. And he does seem to take it to heart in the moment. So, and then Izuku is behind him, like all concerned for Kachan, as always. Like, sir.
Yeah, in the sub, it's don't act like a kid. Nothing about him sulking. To be fair, Bakugo is a child. That's Zawa.
Yeah, but little kids tend to sulk a lot more than maybe teenagers do, at least where the adults can see them.
I don't know. I think teenagers are a lot sulkier.
Yeah, but they do it performatively, not like really. That's not a word. It's fine.
It is, but not the way you used it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, his phrasing in the subs is much kinder than in the dubs or in the manga translation. I noticed this time I finally paid attention. In the manga translation, the wording is much more similar to the dubs. In this instance, that isn't always the case.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mind his language in the dub because the inflection of the voice actor was also kind of like soft and kind.
Oh,
like he wasn't.
That definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, he wasn't being accusatory at all. Anyway, to Izuku, Aizawa says to work harder and not make the excuse that he doesn't have control of his quirk. And this is very true, even though Izuku still doesn't really have control. It's fine. He's learning.
Yeah.
And he says, you can't keep breaking your body, but your quirk will be really useful, like down the line. And Izuku just like pops up like a daisy. He's so happy to get complimented. He's such a sweet bamboo.
Yeah, feel a sense of urgency, Midoriya. On the one hand, yes, I get what you're trying to say, Dadzawa, but again, they kids.
Yeah, I really, really loved Izuku's sweet little baby angel face where he was like all determined. He was like, yes, sir. And poor Katsuki is like, yeah, I already fucking know. Like I had that talk with myself last night.
Oh, poor things. And also he does not give any notes to any of the other students, at least on screen. Like
Yeah.
we know they're already the problem children of the class.
I mean, these two had the biggest fuck ups, so
Retweet.
Yeah.
So anyway, now it's time to get down to business. Time to pick a class representative. Normal school shit for once. Finally, we get an episode that doesn't rip my heart out of my fucking chest.
Or do we?
Shush.
The transition to look of concern at the prospect of another class versus the finding out it's a normal activity is fucking fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
These poor kids and their anxiety. But yeah, once they find out it's time to pick the class representative, everyone wants the role, which is very, very cute. And then Izuku's voiceover also mentions that in the hero course, everyone wants it because it gives you leadership experience, which is especially important in hero work.
Yep. It's a way to set yourself above the rest of your class for employment opportunities. And these kids are just always thinking ahead. They can't just have like one thing that's for the moment. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. Also, fuck you, Medetta, and your fucking weird ass thing about the skirt or the thigh or whatever. However the fuck you phrased it was gross.
Ugh.
Manetta should be shoved down a trash can, duct tape closed, dug into a hole, and filled with cement.
Yes, correct. And we'll do it while he's still alive so he can feel all the terror that he's inflicted on his fellow humans.
Good Lord.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so Izuku is the only one not jumping up and down and yelling.
Yeah, even Bakugo wants in on it, which I didn't recall from my previous watches. And that kind of tells you something about how important it is.
Yeah, Izuku just has too much going on already. So
yeah, his confidence isn't quite there yet. He's got a lot on his mind. Anyway, the class is in chaos. Ida has to call them back to order and remind them that the role comes with actual responsibilities. And he also suggests voting on who gets the role democratically.
Yeah, and he makes a very impassioned plea that democracy is the best way to choose a leader. And I'm not going to go into it. But it's there.
Also,
you can feel my subtext.
Excuse me, my voice.
Here,
again, it's shot. Anyways, I love how during this entire speech he has his hand up way too high.
Yep.
And he really wants to be it.
And then Sue is like, she responds to his suggestion. She's like, we don't even know each other because it's only been like a couple days. And Kirishima is like, yeah, we're all just going to vote for ourselves. But Ida argues that if someone manages to get multiple votes this early in the school year, that says even more about them because their good qualities really managed to stand out.
Your son is out here spitting facts.
Yeah, he did good in this moment.
Yeah.
And then Aizawa, of course, is all like, I don't give a fuck what y'all do. Just decide before homeroom is over. Promptly takes a nap. I'm so goddamn jealous that he's able to fall asleep so quickly.
Yeah, that in itself is another quirk, and I need it right now. And yeah, he's like, do what you want, but just do it before I finish my nap. And then Ida responds, he's like, thank you for your trust. Like,
it's so cute.
It's cute and it's humorous in the moment because their two tones are just on completely different planes, but also knowing what transpires much later in the manga, like my heart was just glowing in that moment.
Aww.
Yeah, I feel like this is a call out to me yet again.
No, I didn't say anything about you reading ahead. I'm just pointing out that if you have read ahead, you will know that this particular little scene is just like, oh, babies.
To be fair, this is the first mention that wasn't a call out, so fair.
Okay.
Anywho. Yeah, Aizawa has no fucks given. Honestly, I wish I could sleep at work too. That would be absolutely glorious. So I am deeply, deeply jealous of this man.
Yep.
I have to pause to blow my nose. Once again, I swear to God, it starts running the second we start recording. Okay, I'm good. So everyone votes, and the results are that Izuku is at the top with 3 votes, and Momo has 2. Izuku is shook. Katsuki is very offended. And then Sarah makes this catty little comment about why no one would vote for him. I love it so much.
He's amazing. He does not get enough airtime in this first season.
Sarah, I love him so much. Although the clock app made me appreciate him because Sarah is Mexican and you cannot tell me otherwise.
Yep.
Agreed.
Also, Sato gets another line. Yay, Sato. Like, I forgot how much he talked in this season because he doesn't really do much talking later.
Poor sweet boy.
And then Shoto next to him is just like, why are y'all so loud?
Oh my God. Yeah, I love him. So Ochako is clearly one of the people who voted for Izuku, and we know Izuku didn't vote for himself. So the question is, who are the other 2? Also, who else voted for Momo? That last question, we do eventually get an answer for, but it's not for a while. So put it out of your mind for the moment, but like stick a pin in it.
Wait,
Ochako was trying to look so inconspicuous and failing miserably.
She has no subtlety.
No, not at all. But I think Izuku did vote for himself because nobody else got 2.
Yeah, I think he did.
Wait,
I think
really?
he thought that probably everybody was voting for themselves, so he just voted for himself. Like,
yeah, and he did want the role. I think he voted for himself because nobody else got 2, and then nobody else voted for him, but still got 1.
Wait, but we already know. Well, those who've already watched this already know who the other 3 are.
There's no other 3. It's Izuku and the other 2.
yeah,
Like nobody else voted for him.
Oh my God, my brain is breaking.
It's okay. You can't do math today. It's fine.
Well, no, I thought there was another character that had voted for Izuku. But thinking back on it, they definitely would have voted for themselves.
Who do you think voted for him?
I thought it was Aoyama.
Oh, no. Aoyama doesn't like him this early. He's still insulting him every chance he gets.
yeah. We
That's
haven't
true.
gotten to the cheese episode yet.
Yeah.
For some reason, when they have their little connection moment, I thought he mentioned it.
Well,
Anyway.
We'll see when we get there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so Izuku did vote for himself, and Ochako voted for him. So who's the other one? Good Lord. Okay, so Sweet Ida, upsetty spaghetti because he got 0 votes, but that also means he didn't vote for himself, even though he wanted the position like so badly. Ida, sweet boy, your intensity. I love him.
Yeah, he's so upset that his plan backfired.
Uh-huh.
Poor Ida is so dumbstruck at not being chosen. I guess
None
this
of us
is where
can
we're
talk
at.
today.
No.
We can't stay on task either.
Why did we choose to do a podcast when we can't talk or stay on topic?
Because we're obsessive and we can't be quiet.
Yeah, I guess so. And our friends were getting mad at us for
Yeah, we were getting really annoying in the group chat.
for being weebs on Maine.
So anyway, Izuku is the elected class rep. Momo is the deputy. Oh God, poor sweet baby Izuku, shaking in his boots. He got stage fright. Don't do this to him.
Yeah, he's got that social anxiety in front of the people and in front of the cameras. And this is established really early on, and it actually continues, and it's great. It's like it's like a really good flaw for a hero in such a capitalistic, heroic society, however you want to say it, because you got to talk
That's
when
a
you're
good
in
point.
this society.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he has always been looked down on by everyone. So he's not used to being the center of attention in a positive manner.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Poor thing.
Yeah. But on the other hand, the other students are getting like kind of excited about this. As Ida predicted, both Momo and Izuku stand out in a good way and everyone admires them.
Yep. And I love that Momo is all miffed that Izuku got first place despite having no qualifications like she does.
Fair.
And Ida he's so disappointed. And honey, baby, it's okay to be disappointed. You can say it. You don't have to put on the cheerful mask. It's okay.
Aw, Momo just really wanted first place, but she's very smart and deserves it. Ida, BB, it's okay. We love you just the same.
Yeah, I do think Momo would have been a really great fit. But anyway, cutscene to the cafeteria. We learn a couple different things. So all of the courses, or most of them at least, have the same lunchtime, which explains why the cafeteria is so goddamn huge. Ochako really loves the rice.
Sure.
Okay. And Izuku is doubting his ability to be class rep. Of course he is.
Yeah. And Ida actually narrates that the support, management, and hero courses all share the same cafeteria. And I guess management is the business course that's mentioned later. But where are the general studies kids?
Yeah.
Because we know there's 4 tracks. Like, do they get their own sad little cafeteria off to the side?
I'm thinking this is probably a continuity error.
I hope so. I feel bad for our favorite general studies student.
Another potential, now that I'm thinking of it, another potential explanation is that like the general studies class is the largest class.
Yeah.
And so they have to have their own lunchtime because all of the other courses are comparatively smaller. So they get lumped in together.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like the 3 specialized courses would take up kind of the same amount of space as the general course. That makes sense.
Because there's only 40 hero course students per year. So that's like what, 120 kids total?
Don't have
like
to do
thousands of kids. So
yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
we're getting way too lost in the weeds. It's
yeah. Sorry, pulling it back. So Ida, Ochako, and Izuku all sitting together. This is honestly really the only consistent grouping we get throughout the entire series. Well, no, there's one other. But like even they split up sometimes, like Ochako especially will break off to go hang out with the other girls pretty often. Also, like in Japan, is it typical to have lunch during homeroom? Because like in the US, lunch happens during whatever class you have scheduled for that time. And homeroom is like 30 minutes tops. And I'm not even really sure why homerooms exist in the United States anymore.
Well, I figured that they were in homeroom in the morning, and this is just their lunchtime later the same day. And I believe
that could be.
Yeah, I believe they actually just stay in that same room throughout the day, and then the teachers shuffle around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So feasibly, they start with homeroom and then do their courses and then go to lunch and then come back. Anyway, for any other listeners, US homeroom is just for paperwork. That's all. Like we handed out school picture shit and yearbook shit. And
yeah, that's true.
That stuff.
Report cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what Nicole said is true. That the class stays in the same room. It's the teachers who shuffle around. So homeroom in Japan also tends to be a class. So all the stereotypical homeroom things that we think of, but it's also the homeroom teacher teaches like an actual class. So it's like maybe like a little part of it in homeroom, and then the rest of it is the class.
Okay.
So this could theoretically have a longer class in the morning. And I don't think there's ever a specific topic that Aizawa teaches, but like
we don't get like a firm class schedule.
Yeah.
Which like makes sense because then you can do whatever the fuck you want with your, with the plot line, and you don't have to pay attention to details like those. So it's best to not specify them. Again, we just got pulled off into a tangent.
But also I need to know what Aizawa teaches. It's important to me.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for me too, but I think the only confirmation we really get throughout the series is that Present Mike is the English teacher, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ectoplasm is the math teacher.
Yeah, so there's really like no way of knowing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fine. We're not going to get the details we want. There's no way to know.
That's
But
cool. We
yeah,
could just sit
watching
there and
other
watch fanfics
anime
about it.
is where I get this from. Like the class is taught well after homeroom or like homeroom is after the class or something along those lines.
Okay. So in the scene, we also learn officially that Ida is the other person who voted for Izuku.
Yeah, Ida gives the best reasoning as to why he voted for Izuku.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he sees in him a person worthy to follow and acknowledges him in my heart.
I know.
He's
It's
such a
very
good
cute.
boy.
Also, Chaco's glasses comment.
She is very much the airhead of the group. I love her.
I like how she has no filter.
None at all.
Oh my God. Oh, she's so good. And then sweet baby Ida being all like wanting to do it, being suited to do it are different things. Ah, my sweet boy.
He's so emotionally mature, and his line in the dub
Sometimes.
is wanting a job and being suited to it are quite different things. And like that hurt me deep in my career existential dread. Like,
Oof.
thanks, Tenya, I guess. Not really.
Ida coming in hot with them life lessons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm so exhausted already.
Yeah.
Did that get you, Nicole?
It got me deep. It did.
Ooh.
Right between the ribs.
Yeah. I feel like our entire generation is having a lot of career existential dread right now.
Yeah. I wonder
mean,
why.
Yeah.
Not
For
wrong.
real.
I mean, I
So-
still don't know how I ended up where I am. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if we have any younger listeners, but if we ever get some, maybe things will be better for you, actually. Never mind.
Maybe.
I mean, the teenagers scare the hell out of me is there for a reason.
Yeah, it's getting truer every day. And I, for one, love it. I love our chaotic coming up generation. But yeah.
Absolutely. So that good God.
That.
Okay. Back to the episode. So Ida is using all these big words people don't usually use, and Ochako is like, "You're rich, aren't you?" And then we get like launched into Ida's backstory. So basically, he comes from a line of successful pro heroes. That's how they got all their money, and they all use the same hero name, Ingenium. And his older brother, Tensei, is the current holder of the title, and he is incredibly successful as well. 65 sidekicks under him. He's a big ass deal.
Yeah. And I love that, like, literally poor Ochako can sniff out his family money so easily.
He really does have a sixth sense for it. I mean, if hero work doesn't work out, she could definitely be an accountant or, a fortune teller or something.
Also, Tensei, so goddamn sexy. Oh my Lord. Oh, just wait for it, y'all. Just wait. Oh my God, he's so hot.
Yeah. I need more Tensei in the main series, not just Vigilantes.
Yes.
He gets a big spotlight in Vigilantes, and we love him. Well, at least Fern and I do. Maria hasn't gotten there yet, but it's fine because Tensei is sexy and that transcends reading schedules. But I digress. We just need more Tensei.
Yeah, Tensei is, but my spidey senses are tingling that I am missing something, but I don't really care. I'll get to it eventually.
You'll care when you do get it to it eventually, and you're going to be sad you missed out on all this time that you could have been simping for Tensei Ida.
Yeah, he really spotlight. I'm like losing my ability to words because he's so sexy.
Yeah, he's up there with Fat Gum for Fern.
My goodness, yes. He's not quite there, but he's edging up close.
Yep, he's like second or third.
Mm-hmm.
We still need to do our rankings.
Yeah. Also, like a fucking course, Izuku knows all about the current Ingenium. Like,
I literally had the exact same note.
Are you also really surprised at this point, though?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all. But it still needs to be said that he is a nerd.
Oh God, he's such a nerd. So basically, the point of all of this information is that sweet baby Ida has a lot of expectations on his shoulders. Parallels between him and Katsuki continue.
Yeah. I do want to thank you for pointing out these parallels between Katsuki and Ida, because they went right over my head. So thank you.
Obsessed with them both. So at this point, I'm going to start calling him Tenya because later on, referring to him only by his last name is going to get a little bit confusing. But basically, Tenya really, really, really admires his brother Tensei, wants to be just like him. Izuku even notes that Tensei is to Tenya what All Might is to him. And like, I would argue that Tenya also feels similarly about Izuku and admires him a lot too.
Yeah, like this is the dynamic that I noticed between the two of them, not the Tenya Katsuki parallel, at least in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all, I'm just gonna set this one back and let y'all talk about your kids.
We are truly the worst soccer parents at the soccer practice. Yeah. Not even the game, the practice.
Yeah, I think for the next like couple of bullet points, I have like very little to say. So y'all go ahead. Have fun.
Yeah. So Ida once again brings up the entrance exam. And Izuku is about to confess what was really going on with him during the entrance exam. And again, I would argue that in Tenya's mind, it wouldn't make that much of a difference because either way, Izuku behaved admirably. And like, that's the part that Tenya really focuses on. Mm-hmm. But an alarm goes off. There's an announcement that there's been a level 3 security breach and the kids need to evacuate like right now. And I would imagine that hearing an alarm sound in a place like UA is especially scary because you're supposed to be safe there.
Yeah, I guess so. I do want to say that my note for that little scenelet was Izuku almost tells Ida that he is actually clueless. But then an alarm goes off. Oh dear.
Yep.
This was called stellar timing.
You're right. And then a third year lets Tenya know that a level 3 security breach means someone's trespassing on school grounds. He also mentions that this has never happened in all the time he's been there. So it's not like this is a typical occurrence.
Yeah. And essentially what he's saying is that someone has actually broken through the barrier mentioned at the start of the episode. And I mean, you got to love a gun on the wall trope. Mm. And like Fern said, it apparently hasn't happened for years, at least. So cue all the panic. And like, apparently they don't have fire drills at UA or anything, or active shooter drills.
I think the active shooter drills is just America.
I know. That's why it's sad. And I hate this country.
We laugh, but we're actually like so upset.
We laugh so we don't sob.
We laugh
camera.
in pain. Mm-hmm. We laugh in pain. Anyways, I panic, you panic, we all panic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, as Maria mentioned, kids are panicking. There's basically a stampede towards the exit. Ida, Ochako, and Tenya, everybody's getting crushed.
Yeah. And also I did my unnecessary study of the crowds.
I love you.
During the stampede. And the kid with the tall hair at the beginning kind of looks familiar, but it didn't ring any specific bells in my head. But literally no one else looks familiar. So again, it was wasted effort.
Not at all.
Yes, it was. It's fine.
I was already looking forward to your comment, Terry Nicole. Did not disappoint.
Well, I was looking like for characters we meet later, and I was also looking for like the few characters I would recognize from other anime, because we know he does that too.
BB.
But if you had found one, that would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, but I didn't.
But you could have, and that's the point.
I knew you were gonna hold this fort down forever. It's fine.
It's fine. Okay. Go ahead. I'll be sad off camera.
Yeah. So Tenya manages to get to a window and he sees that the security breach is the press. And they're basically demanding an interview with All Might. So, it's great to know that paparazzi in Japan do as much fucked up shit as paparazzi here in the US. And this is why we need to come up with a better system than paying people per story / photograph, making them desperate and start dehumanizing the subjects of their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really fucked up. And in Asian countries, it can literally destroy a person. Any type of scandal is looked down upon. I know in Korea, at least, there are agencies that don't even allow you to date because of it.
Thank God.
Yeah. Japan is similar, but it is a tiny bit more lax, but it's still pretty fucked up.
Good to know.
Yikes.
Good to know. That makes these paparazzi like even worse.
Mhm.
Yes. I've watched a lot of Korean dramas, so I know a lot about this. And
Yeah.
it's fun. It's not fun, but it's fun.
Mm.
Yeah. So, God, it's up to poor Aizawa and President Mike to hold the press back. Aizawa is not falling for any of their bargaining nonsense. President Mike wants to beat them all up, which is hilarious. He's definitely the feral one of the duo, and Aizawa is absolutely the brain.
They're the epitome of Pinky and the Brain. Also, I loved that cartoon, and I think I would appreciate it more as an adult now.
I am still watching it, and yes, you would.
It's amazing, and I think I'm the Brain now. I used to think I was the Pinky, but no, I'm the Brain.
Yeah, I was always Brain because Pinky was too happy.
You either die Pinky or you live long enough to see yourself become the Brain.
Also, our younger listeners, if there's any out there, go look it up. It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's still running. They revamped it.
Really? Okay.
It's a really good revamp, actually. It's basically the same as the original, but like with more modern topics.
Yeah, it's like they continued.
I am going to go on an adventure and look this up. Not that I have any time, but we're gonna do this. Because I
really
loved
good.
the show. It was my favorite. Coming home after school and turning on the cartoon channel and watching Pinky and the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, back to the cartoon we're talking about now.
Yeah. I did have to note that, did you really expect Aizawa to be the feral boyfriend?
He has some feral traits, so I wouldn't have been surprised, but the way the dynamic falls out does make more sense.
I would say he's feral behind closed doors, like when they're having their domestic moments, like maybe cooking dinner. He's the feral one, and President Mike is like, he like lets the persona fall off of himself. But yeah, no, in public, President Mike is the feral one, hands down.
Yeah. Is this an abuse of power? Like his like little comment that, we could just call these guys villains and then beat them up. Yeah, but I'm just going to assume that he was making a joke out of frustration because he's my favorite and I'll always give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and he doesn't actually act on it. He just makes a joke. Yeah, and basically this is their first time like together on screen. And it was just a wonderful introduction to their dynamic.
Established early.
Yep. And they both explained that All Might really isn't there today. It's his day off. He's not there. Aizawa refuses to give any sort of comment, and then Mike snarkily says that they could treat them as villains and then just blow them away with his voice. But Aizawa's logic prevails, and they wait for the cops to deal with their trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would love to watch President Mike take them down.
Oh yeah, it would be great.
That's just the chaos in me. That's just the chaotic person in me. It is a fucking school, for fuck's sake. Also, they can wait for All Might. Aizawa is done with everything and was probably just having a lunchtime nap when this alarm woke him up. I would be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Would be very grumpy.
Yeah, don't wake me up from my nap before I'm ready.
Yeah, so Tenya, so Tenya sees all of this, and then he tries to calm everyone down now that he realizes that there's no real threat, but everyone is way too freaked out to listen. Like Kirishima and Kaminari are also trying to calm everyone down. It's just not working. And Tenya mentions that there aren't any teachers around because they're all trying to deal with the issue. This is a bad security plan.
Yeah.
There's so many holes.
It needs a complete revamping. And Ida narrates in the dub, at least, where are the teachers? Why aren't they taking control? Good question, Ida. And also great foreshadowing. God damn it.
Not again.
We have feelings. Anyway, Kiri and Denki are trying, and that's all that matters. I love those two himbos.
Yes.
Kiri and Dinky are Kiri and Denki are such good boys. My issue with this is that a lot of these students are older and should be used to stressful situations at this point, yet they are all panicking. Like, I get that everyone would be stressed out, but I don't think it would be to this point. I don't know. This scene always really confused me, confused the hell out of me. Honestly, it was just for plot armor.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, you know, it helps the plot, but then if you actually put it under a magnifying glass, you're like, this doesn't actually make that much sense.
Yeah.
But also, we're just going to roll with it.
Yep.
I spell armor in the British way.
Yeah, you
just
did.
realized it.
That's funny. I totally didn't notice. So yeah, anyway, Tenya spots Ochako, who's like reaching out to him with her hand. And then Tenya goes all like, what would Midoriya / Tensei do? And he comes up with a plan. I thought it was interesting that he thinks of Izuku before he thinks of his brother. Also, I'm definitely reading way too much into this.
Yes, you are. But it's nice.
Yeah, I agree with Nicole.
Yeah. I really love this theme how these kids like take inspiration from the people around them. In this case, Ida takes it from Midoriya and Ingenium, and how these inspiration moments lead to the teamwork theme, which is really lovely. And it's honestly one of the best parts about MHA is that it's teamwork prevailing over being the one single rock the world can rely on.
Yeah.
Goddamn nail on the head. That was amazing.
So I think this is really important for Ida's development as a character because he has put essentially Izuku and his brother on the same playing field. This right here single-handedly shows just how much respect and admiration he has for Izuku. And it becomes even more apparent in later arcs.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you're singing my song.
You're welcome. I sometimes do a good job.
Anyway, so Izuku has, oh my God, not Izuku. Jesus fucking Christ. So Tenya has Ochako float him so he can get above the crowd. And then he uses his engines to propel himself towards the exit. So he'll be in everyone's line of sight. Poor baby, he accidentally like flips himself around over and over and smashes into the wall, but he still keeps himself together. And he lets everyone know it's fine. It's just the press. We're not going to get killed by villains today. Can everyone calm the fuck down, please? And of course, Kirishima, Kaminari, Izuku are all like, how cool is this guy?
Yeah, this is also the first symbolic hand reaching out to hand moment.
Oh my fucking God. How did I not pick up on that?
Because it's probably not involving Izuku, but yeah.
Okay, fair.
It's there.
Still. Oh my God.
There.
That's amazing. Thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome. It's baked in so early. And I mean, it's honestly probably there in like earlier episodes, but now we're used to analyzing each frame. And so this is when I noticed it. Anyway, so, but between Ida's like Cirque du Soleil twirl through the air to then immediately reprimanding them all that panic is not the UA way, this scene is just the perfect encapsulation of Tenya Ida. Also, I did do more like crowd shots, and there was still no one. So much time wasted.
Yeah, this is peak Ida, and I'm here for it.
Yep.
Totally.
So then we cut to the police finally fucking arriving and kicking the press out.
Yep. Yeah. And President Mike in the dub, he says, "That's a wrap. Get these vultures out of our station."
Oh my God.
Sir, your DJ persona. Like, oh, I love him so much. But honey, sweetie, dial it back.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. In the sub, he says, "Goodbye, bad mass media." Honestly, I prefer the dub because it's true.
Yeah, that is way more poignant. Damn.
So then we cut back to the classroom where Izuku is having some stage fright again, but he manages to choke out that he thinks Tenya would be a better class rep because he kept his cool today and calmed everyone down. Kirishima and Kaminari back him up.
Yep. And Momo is trying very hard not to judge Izuku's anxiety. Also, they're supposed to be like electing the other class officers in this moment, and they never show who gets elected to these other positions. And I need to know who is who.
Yeah, there's just all these little tiny details that we never get, but we want.
We need them. I need them. Horikoshi.
Also, Kaminari mentioning that Tenya was posed like the exit signs when he was like pressed up against the wall. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, in the dub, he calls him emergency exit, and that turns into his nickname for like the rest of the show.
I think they do that in the sub too. Also, like, do people ship Tenya and Izuku? Like, if any listeners ship this, can you reach out? Because we want to hear from you. And by that, I mean, I want to hear from you. Also, feel free to gush as much as you want. I will read every word.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there, because right now I've somehow found myself on Tenya Katsuki shipping TikTok. So there are people out there who ship all the pairings. And
that is also inspired. That is also inspired.
And then, like, back in the moment, Aizawa tells them to hurry up again. He says he doesn't care who the rep is. Yes, you do, sir, or you will. And this is also one of the many gifs floating around the internet when he scowls from his sleeping bag. Mm-hmm. And like, Izuku is still intimidated by him, even though he's literally a slug on the floor at this point. But it's okay. It's okay, Izuku. It'll get better soon.
Mm-hmm. You know, I had a feeling I wasn't going to say much in this episode. It's mostly centered around Ida. Y'all got it, though.
We got it.
Also, eternal love for Aizawa in his sleeping bag. Fun fact, I have a sleeping bag in my car for emergencies. So maybe one day I too will achieve Aizawa level.
I could see it.
Nice.
See it.
You can be that person who is out in public cosplaying Aizawa and doing the sleeping bag crawl across the street, interrupting traffic. It was beautiful.
Yeah. So, oh my God, that's an image.
I'll send you the GIF if I can find it.
Please do. So back to the episode. Tenya gets way too into his feelings again as he accepts the position. Poor Momo. She's like, bitch, I am right here.
Mm-hmm.
She would also make an amazing class rep. I'm sure everyone agrees.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And she is rightly disappointed because she got more votes than Ida did. And she is correct. She should be rep, followed by Ida as the deputy. But I digress.
Momo would be amazing. However, Momo will get her time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
She does. She's got some really good moments. So cutscene to the edge of the school grounds where Midnight, Recovery Girl, 13, and Nezu are grouped together standing at the perimeter and wondering how the press got in. And then we get to see that the barrier is all crumbled up like it's been disintegrated. I wonder who did that.
Yeah. Quick aside, Nezu always creeped me out a bit. Not his personality or anything. I think he's kind of cool. Just how he's animated. I just really don't deal with things like that very well, as Fern very much knows.
I can see that. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, well, I want to point out that Nezu does creep me out with his personality. So, but we will get to it in the end of season episodes, because I have a lot to say about Nezu, but that is neither here nor there at the moment. Anyway, so Nezu comments that it was someone else who got past the defenses, not the quote unquote ordinary press, who I guess are just too mundane to have impressive or strong quirks, dude. Like, again, quirk is not destiny, damn it. Like, any one of those members of the press could have had a seriously impressive quirk and just chose not to be a hero. And that is valid. You gross little rat.
We will get to that later.
Anyway, he goes on to say that it was definitely a villain who infiltrated, but they don't know the motive. Again, there's just complete disregard for the judicial tenet of innocent until proven guilty, at least when it comes to handing out the villain label. He does call it a declaration of war, which had to have been purposeful, seeing as what's coming up, not just in this season, but in future seasons.
Yeah.
His speech had a lot of foreshadowing.
Oh my God, yes. So much packed in. So cutscene again to Mount Lady, Kamui Woods, and Hitchcockadoodle. Thank you, Nicole.
I'm so mad.
Anyway, they're fighting a villain who's holding some random anonymous wealthy family hostage. All Might swoops in and takes down the villain with a single blow and then reveals that he was on his way to UA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the big villain, pink guy, says, you don't want the blood of these damn yuppies on your hands. Like, sir, why? I mean, yeah, eat the rich, but the kid too? Rude. Let the kid go. All
Might said eat the rich.
Oh, if only. Anyway, like All Might drops from the sun with a single attack that takes out the villain, saves the hostages, and begins his theme music. He is so dramatic and he does his job so well. It's almost infuriating.
Yeah, when he says, why? Because I'm here on my way to work, I giggled so much. He always has to make a dramatic entrance.
Always, no matter what he's doing. Also, I don't care what anyone says. I love his ridiculous yellow suit.
I love it too. It is perfection. However, I personally cannot wear yellow because A, I don't have the skin for it, and B, I like black since it is the color of my soul. My non-existent soul.
Yeah, I also love the suit. I like it even better when he transitions back to Small Might.
And it's all baggy.
Yeah, something about that is even more adorable.
Yeah.
But literally, as soon as he's done with this incident, someone starts screaming about a hit and run, and All Might's gonna be late to school, but he also wants to help, so he dashes off.
Yeah, and he says, I shouldn't be late for school, but I can't ignore someone in need. Like, oh, honey. Your ears, your leaps. I love you so much. Every episode should have both Toshi and Aizawa.
Yep.
I mean, I am always running late for work. Oh my, I get it. I really, really do.
Yeah. Are you running late because you're doing vigilante work on the side, Maria?
No, it's because I'm stopping for Starbucks because I need coffee.
Fair.
That's vigilante work, right?
Sure.
But anyway, so All Might notices, even as he's rushing off, and to us, it appears like he's going at the speed of light, but All Might notices personally that he's gotten slower. And he thinks it's the combination of his injuries, giving one for all to Izuku, and then overworking himself when saving Katsuki from the sludge guy. So all of that means that his powers are steadily decreasing. This man is a workaholic.
Yeah. Like, babe, did you not realize that giving up one for all would literally mean you could stop being so damn active? You can't have it both ways, good sir.
Oh my God. I just realized I'm the All Might of the group. I'm just going to go and cry now.
There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah. Just go take a nap, honey. It's fine.
So we get another flashback scene to Izuku admitting to All Might that he told Katsuki some of the truth about One for All. And All Might understands that he did so out of sincerity instead of wanting to show off. And he thinks Katsuki didn't take it seriously. So he doesn't punish him or anything. But he does warn him that secrecy is important because if word gets out, everyone is going to try to steal One for All from him. Like, bro, just straight up tell him there's someone out to get him. Don't be Dumbledore. No one wants to be Dumbledore.
Oh my God. He's totally being a Dumbledore. God damn it.
Right?
Fuck.
Oh, God damn it.
We hate Dumbledore, by the way, on this podcast, because there was so much he could have done. So much.
Anyway, moving on. We don't want to give that turf more screen time than she needs.
Definitely. Okay, so here we get All Might's opinion that if the secret of a quirk that can be passed on gets out, it would endanger not only Izuku, who'd become the target of villains all over, but if any of them were to then somehow get a hold of it, they'd use it to bring the world to its knees, which I guess is good preemptive hero work, but does All Might really not have any confidence in the rest of the world's heroes?
Yeah, I think it is a really good way of telling Izuku since it is for his own safety. I do agree with you, Nicole. I don't think he has the confidence in most of the heroes of his generation. Maybe it's because he's been working by himself for so long. I don't know. Also, there's a lot going on behind all of that, but
Yeah.
it would take forever.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have seen, like with the Sludge Guy incident, that a lot of heroes just kind of sit back and allow him to take on a major part of the burden and just straight up take advantage of his desire to help people. So I get it.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, cut back to the present day. All Might stops the hit and run person and then bounces off to take care of another incident. Sir, your organs!
Sir, your organs, please.
Not just your organs, your students, sir. Don't forget about them. You're a teacher now. God damn it.
Oh my God, this man. Anyway, cut again to the homeroom class, and Aizawa reveals that they're going to have another special training session with him, All Might, and one other person leading the lesson. And this time it's going to be a rescue exercise. And Sweet Kami is like, ooh, that sounds difficult. And then Sweet Kiri is like, this is what being a hero is all about. My arms are ready to rumble. I love him.
Kiri is the manliest man.
He's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Also, whenever Sue makes that little ribbit sound in Japanese, it's kero kero, which is perfect. I love it. It's arguably better.
True. I love how that Izuku is so excited about rescue training because it's what All Might is so good at.
I mean, he is really good at on-the-job training.
And then Aizawa mentions that they can wear their costume or not, as they prefer, which is good because Izuku's got totally destroyed. Also, the training is happening off campus, so they're taking a bus. You had a security breach this morning, but sure, take your kids on a field trip. Great idea.
Yeah, they're so prepared in some ways and so just not thinking in others.
I mean, classes must go on or something like that. I don't know.
As Americans, we have extra feelings about that. So yeah, as Nicole mentioned, Izuku is super jazzed about the exercise because All Might's rescue experience is what he admires most about him. But then cutscene to all the kids waiting outside for the bus, and Ochako notices that Izuku's back in his gym uniform because his preview motherfucker. His old costume got trashed. And then you got Kazuki's interesting little stance with his back firmly to Izuku. He's all, don't talk me, I'm angry. Also, Shoto is back in his shitty ass costume. So I guess it is a real costume, but I'm also not convinced that the components weren't just pulled from his closet at the last minute.
My son only has 2 brain cells. The fact that he even chose something is a miracle.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that Katsuki is, of course, nearby, standing very gay. Shoto is also conspicuously close. And, of course, fucking Mineta. I'm mad that I can't tell if he's blushing about Ochako or Izuku, but either way.
I had the same motherfucking note. I'm gonna add poison ivy into his trash can along with him in 1 bottle of water so he can go slowly.
Ooh. Yes. I think we should make his death punishment slightly worse every time he does something.
Yep.
You're welcome. I'm glad I started this.
Yeah.
I like it.
We're going to keep going with it. And then also Momo comes up behind Mineta and either she's disgusted with him too, or is she also looking at Ochako's butt?
But unlike Mineta, she is looking respectfully.
Yeah.
Indeed. And then, of course, you have Tenya being super extra, thinking he needs to teach them all how to get on a bus. And it's not even a school bus. It's a city bus.
Yeah. Like, Ida, darling, you don't need to load the bus special.
Ida just wants to be the best rep ever.
Oh, boy. Anyway, so we got a little more information about Sue. She's pretty plain spoken. She just kind of says whatever comes to mind. And she does ask to be called Sue instead of by her surname or her full given name. And then she notes that Izuku's power is similar to All Might's, which of course sends Izuku just full blown panic mode.
Yeah. And while he's freaking out, Aoyama is either staring at both of them or staring into camera. We can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Izuku really cannot hide his feelings. Poor boy.
Mm-hmm.
Aoyama, are you staring into my soul or are you thinking about cheese? What is it?
The world
He's
may
doing
never
both.
know.
No, he's doing both. He can do both.
Yeah. So, of course, cue a discussion about all their quirks and how you can't just have a good quirk. It's also got to be flashy because capitalism.
Yeah. Kirishima points out that All Might doesn't injure himself, which basically sets Izuku and All Might apart from each other. And then he compliments Izuku's augmentation. And then compliments. Yes. And then compliments Izuku's augmentation type quirk, saying it is nice and flashy while bashing his own hardening quirk. Poor baby. Your quirk is amazing. And also Izuku loves Kiri's quirk.
Just two manly men complimenting each other. I love our non-problematic boys.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also this scene has like a lot more meaning on rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
Poor sweet Kiri.
Oh.
And then like he's still hyping everyone up and it gives me life. He's such a good boy.
He is. He's the bestest boy. Also,
he's my favorite.
Also, Mina puts Aoyama in his place again. Like, thank God someone is teaching him how real social interactions are supposed to work.
She roasted him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then next, of course, Kirishima then compliments Bakugo and Todoroki's quirks. Cue the shipping wars with Bakugo's disregard for the comment and Shoto's literal nap in the back of the bus. And then Sue drags Bakugo for his anger issues, and Denki says one of his only quote unquote smart sounding lines. But you can be a book smart airhead, people. It's possible, and Denki is that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Shoujo really doesn't give a flying fuck what's going on around him. He is probably Aizawa's favorite right now.
Yeah.
He's definitely the quietest at this time.
Yeah, aside from Koda.
Yeah. Good, sweet Koda. You deserve all good things, baby.
Goodest boy.
Yeah. So Sue and Kaminari totally roasting Katsuki because, his personality kind of sucks right now. Not going to lie. And Izuku is like, Katsuki is the one being teased now? How is this happening? What is reality? I can't believe it. Again, basically, it's a total reversal from middle school. These babies learned that their formative experiences aren't necessarily permanent reality, and they got to realign their worldview.
Sue and Kami left no crumbs. They literally called him out.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best.
Yeah, definitely. And all of this is definitely calling back to the earlier episodes and the larger themes for sure.
Yep.
I love that Momo is like disgusted with this weird conversation, like the proper queen she is. Well,
Yep.
Ochako is like all for this bickering. I'm convinced she has a lengthy AO3 library immaculately sorted by trope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ochako does. She probably even has some fun fanfics written that are pretty popular and makes money off of them. Because if there's anything about Ochako, she will be making money off of it if she should. We stand a thriving bish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me adjust the way I'm sitting for a moment because my butt's going numb.
Sexy.
So sexy, always. So Aizawa interrupts this kerfluffle and is like, can everybody shut the fuck up? We are here. And we get a nice shot of some kind of like massive domed building, which this is going to mean a damn thing to anyone. But I did note that like Maria and I are from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and it kind of looks like the Coliseum.
It does, but shinier. And it less like I'm going to get shot in the parking lot vibes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, true.
Are y'all okay?
Yeah.
No.
We're fine. Fayetteville's an interesting place to live, though. So basically, they pull up to this Coliseum thing, is what I'm going to call it for the rest of the episode. And 13 is the other teacher overseeing this exercise. We love her. She's the best. Hooray! Also, refer back to the discussion in episode 4 about her pronouns. But in the sub, they still refer to her as gentlemanly, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
13 is the greatest.
Yes.
I love her.
As you should. So 13 leads them inside and reveals this massive arena, which she designed herself, that has several different sections with all kinds of terrain, disasters, so they can train for all sorts of scenarios. And this place is called the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, or the USJ for short. Dun, dun, dun.
We have finally arrived at USJ. And in the dub, they say, just like Universal Studios Japan.
Oh my
like,
God.
Horikoshi, you are not being subtle, but at least now he's actually playing with the meta aspects he's included.
Oh
I had the same thought.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And also, like, to repeat myself, we have finally arrived at USJ. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh.
It is time. Let us take a moment to breathe because shit's about to get real.
Oh boy. So real. So All Might is also supposed to be there, as was mentioned earlier in the episode, but 13 confides to Aizawa that he overworked himself with those incidents he took care of this morning, so he's going to rest up and then come in at the end. And Aizawa's just like, of fucking course he did. He's just too tired for this nonsense.
Yep. He is not there because he's at his limit and he doesn't want to reveal his small form even to UA students yet. He's going to try to get there soon, and Aizawa drags him once again, calling him the height of irresponsibility. And I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Yep. And then as they start, Aizawa moodily leans against the wall, and I cannot with this man.
The height of irrationality. I also had the same note. I cannot with this man.
Oh my God. So then 13 gives them a lesson on the dual nature of quirks, and she uses herself as an example. So her quirk is called Black Hole, and it sucks things towards her and then turns them to dust, which is helpful in rescue ops, but obviously can also be deadly if she doesn't use it just right. I did want to make a note of Ochako's eager little face and like her really quick nodding. She's so cute.
She is so adorable and so excited, and I am here for it.
Yeah, we gotta love our space themed hero gals.
Yes.
And then, like, as 13 is like explaining her quirk, Black Hole, she also goes into a more overall explanation of quirk registration and regulations, since even the most helpful of quirks can also be used to kill. She encourages them to remember that even if you're trying to help, you can still get people hurt if you lose focus in regards to your own quirk. And she also goes over how their past lessons are going to help them here. And we get one of many shots showing all the 1A students, probably to remind us who all is there at the moment.
I still think they should have given them a few more lessons before doing something like this, but anime, right?
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
You got to move the plot along, though.
Yeah. Like, also, thank God Shoto lost the half face ice mask nonsense that he had before.
He really needed to.
Yeah. Nice try, Horikoshi. Definitely not the best look.
No. Also, Bakugo only has one of his gauntlets on. Did he break the other one? Or is it just not there?
I completely failed to notice. So
okay. Good to know. I'm the only one noticing small detail.
Yeah. So yeah, as Nicole mentioned, 13 explains that quirks are strictly regulated in society, so their dangers aren't always obvious. And their last few exercises have served as a lesson in that danger. But now this exercise is all about the other side of the coin, how their powers can help people instead of hurt them. I thought these two specific lines were really good. This class is a fresh start. And then I hope you leave here with the understanding that you have powers in order to help others. And like, it kind of reminds me of like that healed femur story that's like, I think it's typically attributed to Margaret Mead. Although, of course, whether a story is actually true or not is another matter entirely. But even so, it still makes the point that taking care of each other is more evolutionary advantageous. Like, it's better and easier than unceasing competition. And this idea is threaded throughout the whole series.
Yeah, that is a great connection. And I'm definitely going to look that up.
It's a really good story. I like it. And then, of course, everyone thinks 13 is just the fucking coolest, as they should.
We stan a queen.
We
Yes,
do
we do.
indeed. So Aizawa's about to give instructions, but then something starts happening. So the lights are flickering and sizzling with electricity. The fountain's water flow is interrupted. This purplish black hole fog thing appears, and it's definitely not 13 doing it.
Yeah, nope. Aizawa's danger senses tingle, and he looks down to see that cloud guy from last time, or some weird form of him, as well as Hand Guy, who has finally arrived.
He immediately goes into fight mode. This is where you can see he's had years of training to be able to react that quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Aizawa just snaps into gear, and he tells the kids to group together for protection, and he tells 13 to focus on protecting them.
Yeah, Dad Zawa must make sure his kids are protected.
Yep.
Yeah, his priorities just like aligned perfectly in half a second. And then, of course, villains, including Handface, start emerging out of this void thing. And at first, the kids are confused, and Kiri thinks it's part of the exercise, but Aizawa is very quick to set them straight.
Yeah. And they're watching a bunch of people coming through the purple void. And it includes a lot of heteromorphs.
Yeah, the amount that comes pouring through is significantly high and menacing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then we get this flash of like Aizawa putting his goggles on, and it was definitely like a moment. So it got its own point on the timeline.
Yeah. He dons his goggles, and this tells Izuku that he means real, actual business is about to go down.
Yeah, Aizawa is ready to fight. This kind of reminds me of when girls used to take off their hoops in high school and then they knew things were about to go down. I get the same vibe.
Yep.
Oh my
He's
God.
like, bitch, hold my flower.
I didn't grow up in a school that fought all the time. What are you talking about?
No, not at all.
Never happened. Definitely wasn't a significant issue in our school, and they sent someone to investigate. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so as Maria mentioned, villains just keep fucking pouring out of this void, including the giant like brain bird person that we saw earlier. Cue ominous music.
Yep. And cue Izuku's narration that now they, the students, are the ones in danger.
Boss music, boss music, boss music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then fucking end credits.
Yep. Classic cliffhanger. And like back to the reporter lady at the top. I know y'all hate her, but I kind of liked her spunk. But the sassy reporter lady is not even named in the credits. She's not even mentioned in the English credits and is only referred to as reporter female in the Japanese credits. Like I need more information on her, and this feels it has flavors of sexism, and I don't like it.
I wonder if she'll come back, because the press definitely have a big role in this series.
I wonder if she's like the repeating reporter trope you always find in superhero, like because there's the reporter in the helicopter, and then like the first episode of season 4 has one. I'll have to pay attention.
Yeah, this time we're actually paying attention, so we'll see. And so then after the credit, of course, we get the preview. And this time, Izuku and Sue are the ones voicing the preview. We get a lot of really short, chaotic shots. A fight is definitely going to go down. All Might's coughing up blood again. And then Sue mentions she finally knows why Minetta's hair is like that. What does she mean? We'll find out.
Yep. I can't wait for Sue to get more screen time.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all know shit's about to go be cray-cray from this moment on. So it's going to be a roller coaster. Be prepared. Or not prepared. Whatever floats your boat. We don't judge here.
Yep. Fun time over.
Yeah, no more fun times.
We got one fun low stakes episode, and then we're just going to get thrown right into awful.
Yep.
But anyway, we're moving on. Timeline's done. So we're going to manga differences and then Easter eggs and fandom theory roundup.
Yep. So for the manga differences in chapter 12, there's not really that much. There's mostly dialogue differences, including Aizawa being just a little bit more gruff with Bakugo. Denki's line about Momo's great training analysis was actually originally Ida's in the manga.
Interesting.
Yep. But that's it for chapter 12. In chapter 13, my first note was, oh my goodness, they used the middle finger.
Who does?
Yeah. So anyway, the pink villain gets a name.
Wait, who uses the middle finger?
I'm getting to it.
Ah.
Anyway, the pink villain gets a name, Habit Headgear, which is a terrible name.
Yeah.
And he's the one who's basically giving the finger to the heroes. Yeah. And it looks like it might be a different hero than Hitchcockadoodle, which I don't know what this means. I guess they just liked him in the anime. Whatever. Again, there's just dialogue differences. USJ is actually not mentioned as being off campus, just remote. And like we know from knowing the whole property that UA's campus is pretty big.
Yeah.
But I guess it's neither here nor there. Denki's line on the bus when he's roasting Bakugo is actually more academic.
Huh.
And also 13 calls Aizawa senpai, which is adorable. And I don't know why. It was just really cute to me. And also it's called the height of irrationality rather than the height of irresponsibility when Aizawa is roasting All Might.
Yeah, I forgot to mention she calls him senpai in the sub too.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so cute to me. I think it's just the senpai thing at all. Anyway.
Also, 13 is really adorable.
Yeah, true. Anyway, so Hand Guy actually has lines in this chapter, but I'm assuming they just moved them to the next episode. Also, the Cloud Guy, aka Kurogiri, if y'all hadn't put it together yet from our mutual sobbing earlier in earlier episodes, says he received a staff schedule, and that is going to play really big into the upcoming Red Thread stuff, like at the end of this episode and at the end of the season.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on. Anyway, for the Easter eggs and fandom theory roundup, kind of like we mentioned before, the reporter lady may return in later episodes, but we honestly cannot remember, and I will just keep my fingers crossed while Fern and Maria will keep their fingers crossed that she never returns.
I don't mind her spunk if she stops aiming at its students.
Yes. Well, hopefully she will learn. If listeners want to be fully prepared to have your heart broken, just remember Purple Smoke Cloudman. His future and past, it's going to be bad and you will cry. And I know this because I don't usually cry, even at sad stuff. And I cried over Purple Smoke Cloudman and continue to cry.
That's your
ADHD. Yep.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Dissociation.
It's sob worthy.
Oh my God. Anyway, we're just going to scroll past that. All right. So I did have two actual points to the fan theory part of this section. The first one is Denki's dialogue and the rumors surrounding him. We've mentioned before that there's a big subplot coming up at the end of this season called the UA Trader subplot. And we've mentioned that whoever it is will end up breaking our hearts, but we still don't know who it is, even in the most recent manga chapters. So we're still looking forward to that. Suspects we've mentioned include Aoyama, and probably also include some teachers. Like me personally, I think Nezu is on the suspect list, but he's kind of gone down in my personal rankings, and we'll get to it later. I just don't like him. But a lot of fans speculate, at least on TikTok, that Denki is actually sus as hell because of his more bookish dialogue in this first season than in following seasons. There's also another honestly sort of compelling reason when we get to the villain in the second half of season 5, but that's really detailed and we'll go over it when it actually becomes pertinent, because it's like one panel and I don't even know where it is. Anyway, but also just to play devil's advocate, you could be a himbo and have a good vocabulary and be well read. And that seems to be what Denki's deal is in the first season. Maybe he was just trying to impress his classmates in those first few days and weeks. or maybe they just decided to take his character in a different direction.
Yeah.
Either way, the traitor's identity still has not been revealed. So we're just laying it out for those fans who care to speculate.
Yeah. My opinion is that it's none of the kids.
Yeah.
Quit
mine
talking
too.
shit about my babies.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
I get
here.
very defensive.
We're going to have to we're going to have to put like a suspect list together whenever we do this episode or plan it.
Yeah.
Like each of us. Each of us should have it. Yeah. Each of us should have a suspect list going in. Anyway, last thing I have is that basically kind of pulling back to the UA traitor subplot first sign in the manga has actually now come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
We've been saying that we really don't get into it until the end of this season. But in the manga, Kurogiri, the purple cloud guy, who you will cry over, actually says that he received a class schedule for the USJ lesson following the gate's disintegration or alongside it. Again, we still don't know the exact timeline of the UA traders' activities from their side of the story, but it's interesting that this is said when some folks even wonder if there is a UA trader.
I'm also in that camp.
Well, it's set up well that it could go either way, and you can see yourself believing both.
That's true.
Fans speculate sometimes this because they think Horikoshi forgot about it. He didn't. And sometimes they think the villains are so ingenious that they just planted the idea of a traitor to get them all paranoid, even when there never was one. So it's a lot. And again, we're going to lay all this out in future episodes. But just keep in mind that Kurogiri said he received a schedule. He doesn't say who he received it from or anything like that, at least not in the translated chapters that we've read. But it's a lot. And we'll go over it all again. So if you're lost, it's fine. We will try to do it logically at the end of the season.
That was so much.
It's so much.
Oh yeah, this is a really, really dense episode. So does anyone have any final comments? I think I'm good.
I'm worried about next episode, but I'm also good.
Yeah, I'm good too. I knew it, my voice is, thankfully this was a very low talking session for me. I knew y'all were gonna have a lot to say, so today I'm very happy for it because my throat still hurts a little bit.
Oh baby,
It's tea
fine.
and honey.
I did it to myself.
All right.
All right. So yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
This has been My Hero Analysis. You'll hear us next week. And in the meantime, go beyond plus ultra and thirst responsibly. Bye, y'all.
Thanks again for listening. If you'd like to get in contact with us, have questions you'd like us to discuss on air, give topic suggestions for bonus episodes, or submit fan art for us to display, visit our website at myheroanalysis.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Just search for @myheroanalysis. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review.